All right, let's go. Welcome back, everybody. Today is the final day of May, and holy crap, am I glad May's over. Good riddance. This month has been painful. We're going to go down. We're going to break down mostly some monthly charts. We're going to take a look at how May impacted the markets and what June has ahead. We also have two big kind of news things we're going to get into: crypto and Hong Kong. Crypto coming to China. We're going to take a peek at that. And we're also going to discuss a little bit about the AI hype going on lately and take a peek at some charts on that. So let's get into it. Shout out to our sponsors. Links in the video description below. Please, guys, smash the like button. Engage with the stream. The more engagement we get, the more YouTube shows this stream to more people. And that's how we grow. It's all on you guys. You've been doing a great job. Hype's not that hype right now, but we can keep it going. We'll be here, I promise. No matter how boring it gets or how spicy it gets, we'll be live here regularly, as we were in the last bear market, and we will be in the next bear market. So thanks for joining me. Good to have you all today. Check out crownanalysis.com. We've got new articles being published all the time. Shout out to our awesome authors doing the good stuff. If you'd like to write for crownanalysis.com and have your stuff published, join the Discord. Let me know. So into June. That's going to get hard to say. This is not what I thought it was. Let's go to this one. Into June. Opening up, we have Jolt jobs. More jobs opening than expected. CPI numbers last month. What was it? Last week. I can't even look last week. Basically, we have some mixed numbers coming in for the Fed. Not really what they want to see. And so we'll look at this next. The interest rate hike still leaning in the 25 BPS direction despite banks crumbling. The Fed is on a ripper. Jerome Powell will join us in 2 weeks along with Tom Powell, our favorite. Can I get a chirp Powell in chat? Let us know you're here. Put something in chat if you're here today. I appreciate you guys. This is going to be a much shorter episode, by the way. I'm going to try to get through everything quickly, make it more condensed. So with that in mind, we have big numbers obviously coming up into early June. Initial jobless claims, PMI manufacturing, unemployment rate, CPI, Corp CPI, chirp Powell on the 14th right there. Boom. That'll be a good one. Tune in for that. This month is going to be the recoil or the outcome fallout from May. And I mean, it couldn't get any more boring. I was very thankful to have been traveling this month. Exactly 2 weeks and 1 hour away. We have a 71% probability of a 25 BPS hike, which means what? We probably gonna be looking for more banks to fall, going to be looking for more downside pressure on the stock market, on commodities, on investments. But this is still possible to change. When we first looked at this maybe 2 weeks ago, no rate hike was the favored. Now coming down from that 73% probability, we're back to 71% on 25. This market can't make up its mind because there's such conflicting data going on right now, and no one's really sure what's going to happen. My money is honestly going to be on 25 BPS. I know I've been calling for a pivot for a long time, but it just doesn't seem like they're ready. I don't know. It doesn't seem like that's what's in their cards yet. So let's take a look at what's going on in the world. China opens its doors June 1st to crypto, to retail. People are blowing this up. Do I think this is bullish? Yes, I think it's bullish over bearish. Do I think this is going to be a game changer? No, it's hard to be a game changer. But I do think that this is going to allow... Oh no, Bloomberg really going to paywall me while I'm live? That's rude. We'll have to use a different article quick. Cointelegraph, there we go. 1st of June retail opening. There's not a lot in this article. I checked it out earlier. Basically, Hong Kong's racing to set up retail exchanges. I believe 2 were approved. That's not a huge amount. I think the thing we need to know about this is Hong Kong or China in no way was completely walled away from crypto. It was, at least in China, made illegal for the 800th time last year, but in no way were they completely walled out. So there is a likelihood of some selling pressure on these exchanges opening. Maybe Hong Kong retail looking to kind of cash in on assets that they weren't supposed to have or whatever. I see this as a good thing, though. I see it as the West or the East, whatever it is, China, that part of the world opening up to crypto while the US is seemingly shutting down on it, maybe being opportunistic here, looking to take advantage of weakness displayed by the United States by their recent moves on crypto. and it's going to be interesting. That's why I did want to keep this one short today, because I think tomorrow is going to be hella spicy. Not just because of this, it's also the debt default for the United States kind of targeted date that the FOMC minutes referred to. Janet Yellen referred to it as the day that we could run out of budget, despite some agreement on a debt ceiling temporary suspension into 2025. There's a lot of things coming into line, along with, of course, the charts rolling over into a new month. The last month of the second quarter, wow, time is flying. That's wild. So, like I said, keeping it shorter today so we can hopefully stream again tomorrow into the spice. Is there anything really? 2 central banks have pledged to facilitate discussions on joint fintech development initiatives, knowledge-sharing efforts. This article is probably not going to say much other than that's what they're doing. Opening doors tomorrow. I'm just ready to get done with May. I'll update you quickly on some trades. The shorts still open. I might look to take profit here. We'll see. Probably won't do that while I'm live. We're going to look through the charts first. My longs, of course, stopped out, and that usually marks the bottom, or at least the local bottom. So let's jump into some charts here. May in review. With 7 hours to go, Bitcoin is not looking the best. Not the best. We were really hoping to see a close into April's body candle. It does not look like it's in the cards, though. Anything is possible in the next 7 hours. 28.4 sitting above us as April's open, acting as resistance on a potential last-minute rally. Above that, 29.2. Here's my take. May is likely to close here. I don't think we're going to see that much of a mix-up to the end of May. But here's what we have. But underneath us is that 200 weekly moving average. We had the short as a trailer today on YouTube, published on our YouTube channel as well, about the 200 weekly. 26.2K. This is the price that we're looking and hoping that May holds, and so far it does appear to. In the off chance it sells below 26.2 and closes, that's going to be pretty ugly. We're going to be in uncharted territory there. Test of 23.3 would look extremely likely, being our monthly support, previous resistance, though it has been tested. So that would be not so ideal for our, or at least my 48K target. I'm still thinking 48K by the end of the year. I don't know how or when it will happen, but I have pretty high faith, pretty high confidence. Into June, assuming we do close roughly about where we are going to be looking again for 29.2 as resistance into June. If we see price rally up to there, traders likely will be able to make a slick play of some kind. Short, potentially hedging against further downside. Ooh, we got 400 viewers on YouTube. All right, so things aren't a little more spicy than I assumed, guys. 75 likes. Can we please help me out here? Help a brother out. Let's get that up to at least 100. And then we'll shoot for 420. I mean, it's bear market times, bear market likes, right? Let's go into Bitcoin dominance. I have this very easily, I did my homework today, if you guys can't tell. I have this very simply mapped out on the monthly chart for dominance. Still never breached the previous bull market's lows. May is looking a little different than it did in the start. There was a lot of talk about dominance breaking out. That would line up with 2019's rally. We would expect Bitcoin to make another leg up. Alts, not as much, maybe stagnate, and then potentially see a retest of the lows into the rest of the year. However, dominance is no longer signaling this, or at least on the monthly is not. If we zoom in here, we can see our high of our range at 48.9 or 49%, and April's open at 47.7. Now, this is actually, I'm going to be watching closer than probably even the Bitcoin price into this close. We are flirting with a bearish engulfing monthly for Bitcoin dominance. That may signal the rare, unexpected outcome of dominance falling again to the bottom of our range and breaking the bottom of our range potentially could signal a new run in this year. My fingers are crossed for this, but of course, I'm not going to hold my breath. That's probably the spiciest chart we have to look at today, guys. Highly recommend you looking at dominance. Pushing up above our range, very bearish for the midterm. Dropping back down could, again, signal some kind of unexpected rally, maybe to that 48K, potentially higher. And breaking down below 90 or 39%, that's when it gets real crazy. So fingers crossed. CME. Really quick one to touch on CME, not necessarily on the monthly because that's basically the same chart as Bitcoin, but CME did something very interesting today, which may, I won't be able to make that joke anymore after today, which may signal the local bottom here. Now, there's no guarantees in trading ever. None of this is financial advice. I'm just running through my own thoughts and analysis as we do every day here, and I appreciate almost 600 of you now showing up. Keep engaging with the stream. Keep smashing those likes. There we go. We got 130 likes going. Vote in the poll. Share the stream out. If you have those little reaction emojis, smash them up. Put something in chat. Let us know you're here. So this may signal potentially a local bottom or even a bottom here into the end of May. Tuesday. I know the days of the week. Tuesday opened with a gap up on CME, leaving basically a vulnerable point in price from 26.9 to, we'll call it 27.7. That gap has been fully and even almost like surgically filled here today. We can see price immediately coming down, filling that gap, making their chart whole or whatever you want to call it. So CME is probably our biggest piece of evidence if we want to be bullish that at least locally the bottom is in. Other than my longs getting stopped out, that's usually a great sign for continuation to the upside. I bet you guys feel me there. There is one more remaining gap below us. Looks like we'll have it into June, 20.3 to 21.1. And of course the gap above at 34 to about 36K. So this in itself really only gives us an indicator of maybe the very short term, maybe into tomorrow or into the rest of this week. Potentially CME is signaling that the local low is in. Doesn't guarantee that we're going to break 31K, but it does give us some confidence or at least some logic or rationale to look to take some kind of long position. I mean, taking a long position at my long stop, usually a pretty successful choice. Let's roll it over to the dollar here. This is what is definitely in sight. We'll get into the AI stuff next. This is definitely what is in sight for many, many traders. May has pulled a curveball as the dollar seems to do day in and day out, constantly giving us curveballs. Solid monthly candle here, looking to close about 3% up. However, on the monthly time frame, you can kind of get an idea of this is really almost similar to Bitcoin dominance in the sense of been range bound. Now, not nearly as much time, but the same thing is happening here. Our low range around 101.7, our high range 105, we'll call it flat. This candle is impressive. However, it isn't impressive enough. If we look back to February, very similar candle with 2.8%. What I would have wanted to see a continuation or a confirmation of continuation on the dollar here into June would have been a close above 105. I guess it's possible. A little bit more than 5 hours left. I know I have an alert, but I'll just double up. A close above 105 would definitely be a strong signal to the market that the dollar is looking at least to make some kind of attempt at a rally. Using our fib tool, we get the exact same number we've been talking about since, I don't even know, January. Roughly 109 for the 618 or golden ratio or golden pocket retrace there would be a good dead cat bounce target for the dollar. If that does happen and we see continuation into June, that's likely going to spell pain for stocks, crypto, gold, etc., all of which we're going to take a peek at here. So closing below here certainly isn't bearish. This is a solid candle. It is a bullish engulfing. It's just kind of like the dollar is when we try to chart it. It doesn't like to give us hints. It likes to kind of just do whatever we don't think it's going to do, man. I still can't believe it dropped into 2023 and then just went sideways. That's mind-blowing to me. It's the last thing I thought was going to happen. I thought for sure we'd get a dead cat bounce to 109, or we'd immediately break down and kind of retest our lows around the 90 or 80 area. Let's see. Ooh, that's interesting. I think that's new. When I looked at this earlier this morning, momentum on the MACD monthly was still increasing. Somehow that's been changed since like an hour ago, is what it is. S&P 500 stocks overall had a very solid month to, I'll say, in the middle or to start. Now seems to be cooling off a little bit. Things got very exciting on the S&P when it traded over 4,200. I got very excited. This was a higher high for the year. This was a higher high in our structure. And now into the last few hours of trading, this May candle is looking a little bit rougher. What was a pretty strong kicker, hammer, whatever you want to call it, candle is now shrinking into what looks like almost a neutral doji. Stocks only up, or S&P only up 0.17% for the month after trading at least a few percentages up. We talked about this in many a stream. Well, April closed above the monthly range. May now making higher highs. That's a great sign. especially coming off what was a monthly double bottom. It doesn't seem to be in play. I'm not sure what even to make of that at this point. I think it really is that general global uncertainty of what the rest of the year brings. Something interesting here, though, I'll say, is that the SP 500 did bounce off of its 200 weekly moving average and seems to have found support there. I'm not bearish on stocks yet. Inverting the chart really shows you a picture of a head and shoulders here, which would be likely looking for a little bit more continuation into the end of the year. Let me see what this looks like. Even if only to, higher 4,200. Stocks are boring. Stocks are so boring. Speaking of that, let's look at more stockish stuff. We'll look at NVIDIA and AI next. Gold. Hell of a month for gold. Gold hit a new all-time high in May, and virtually no one noticed. And that's likely because you can see now May, it's looking to close about 1% down from April. When even was that? It feels like forever ago. May 4th, so right at the start of May. New all-time high, and then just slid back down into a solid support area, actually. I've been looking for support on gold around 1920. That was our monthly resistance before March. Bullish engulf closed into our new all-time high. We haven't quite tested it, though. If gold does close below 1,969 or April's open, I would likely expect to see that potentially lower into June. It's just hard to be bearish on gold right now. No matter what happens with monetary policy in the US, it's hard to be bullish on gold unless the Fed says, hey, we were wrong. That's not likely, but we're just going to start printing money and blah, blah, blah. Gold's going to be a solid asset, and it did perform. So the close on that in 4 hours, 5 hours is going to be very interesting, and you can see, just like Bitcoin dominance, it's flirting. It's flirting. It's within like a fraction of a percent of being potentially more bullish or bearish, and I'm definitely going to be watching gold into tonight. So keep your eye open with a new all-time high. Man, this structure, June's probably going to look good for gold, especially if it can just get up a few more points here into the next 4 hours. I think gold's going to be very set up. We don't talk about crude oil much, but I figure when we're doing this style of show, why not? More to just copium ourselves here. Bitcoin, things are going down, and so is crude. I don't know. Is what it is. Solid support that has been tested in March. 5,335 for crude oil futures here. Not the prettiest chart. This has been actually pretty rough since June of 22 for crude. Basically just down, really unable. We have like an inside bearish Harambe candle back in October. Really just down, unable to find bids, and that makes sense. If the U.S. economy is suffering, or the biggest users of oil, makes sense to see that crude maybe not doing so hot. If our economy is contracting, which we'll see our GDP numbers in June, then crude contracting makes sense as well. No real thoughts here other than 5,300. That's solid support. It was tested 2 months ago. Testing it again, potentially with a double bottom in June, is possible. Not the strongest take, but definitely a possibility. Let's get to the thing that everyone likes, or at least everyone likes lately. NVIDIA, or the AI craze going on. NVIDIA blasting a new all-time high, is kind of diverging from the rest of the markets here. NVIDIA up 37%. To put that in perspective, Bitcoin, the dollar, S&P, all looking at pretty small changes for May, while NVIDIA looking to close maybe its strongest candle on a month. Lord knows how long. Certainly in the last few years. Looking to close its high above its previous all-time high. NVIDIA looks pretty good. Now, I do want to caution everyone about getting hyped about NVIDIA. It's a great company. I don't doubt that it will go higher. It's the chasing of the green candles that always gets me here. It's a great way to get wrecked. NVIDIA does have a massive gap below. And that, it looks like it already filled in the one that it painted from yesterday, similar to CME on Bitcoin, but it's traded lower from 366 all the way down to 305. That's a massive gap. 16% gap. That's huge. What do we say? Gaps 85, whatever percent of the time get filled. At some point, it is likely NVIDIA trades back to 305. That could be this year, could be the next month, or it could be years from now. Who knows? But AI itself, I do want to really briefly talk about. Cryptocurrency was really the first time I had this feeling in my life where it was, this is something that is inevitable to the future, that has use to the future, and there's really no way the future progresses without cryptocurrency. And that is held true. For the second time in my life, I feel that again, and that is with AI. AI is absolutely inevitable. It's absolutely a part of the future. It's not going anywhere. And so I believe it's time to embrace it. Here's the caveat. NVIDIA isn't the only AI, isn't the only possibility or way to invest in AI. There's a lot of indirect and direct ways. So getting too hype on NVIDIA, I think, is probably not the right move. There's a lot of downside. If I was looking to pick up stocks here, I would likely be waiting for that gap to fill or some kind of retracement down into reality. This is just too much expansion. 40% expansion, really, in the matter of, what, 3 trading days. That is a lot. That's like when everyone's tweeting about Pepe buying Pepe. Be careful. AI itself, though, great. My recommendation to everyone is go find what's out there, because I don't know. Go find what's out there. Other avenues of investing into AI, because there is no possibility. I'll make this bold call. There's no possibility the future continues without AI, and we can talk about AI fears, whatever, but man, it is always better to embrace the future. The future will always be scary, but it also separates the winners and losers. Those who are afraid of the future, reject it, don't embrace it, are the ones left behind. Just like in crypto, people say, oh, you got in early, you're so lucky. It's the same thing. I'm just saying NVIDIA isn't the only way to get into it. I don't know the ways to get into it. I've been too wrapped up in everything else to really do much when it comes to AI, though I will tell you, I've been using AI almost on a monthly or daily basis since it started heating up. So keep your eyes and ears open into the future, embrace it, profit off of it. We went over NVIDIA's like kind of moon targets and things in the previous stream, and there's a short out on the channel. You can check it out. I won't get into it too much. We just use the fib extension tool and look for upside targets. QQQ, beautiful month as well here. 7% up, nowhere near what NVIDIA is doing, but still up through resistance, separating from SP 500. Next upside resistance, looking at like 362. That's not a crazy move from here. About 5%, but looking at this May candle close, I really would struggle to think it's not going to set higher highs in June. I don't like how unclean stock monthly charts are. There's like the monthlies never close at the same levels, so we'll call like 315. It was back tested in May, at probably the beginning of May before it moved up. What I could see into June even is a touch of 362 and back down to 315. Basically, I'm looking for volatility in June. We've seen such a contraction of volatility, at least in crypto, in May, that I'm really feeling that June is going to be pretty good. Wendy O is calling me. Why is Wendy O calling me? Let me see. Wendy O, I am live. How are you? You're live too, so we're like dual. Oh, I don't have you on speaker. Let me see. Here, now you're on speaker. All right, now you're on speaker on my channel, and maybe if you have both streams open, it'll be very confusing.
Why are you streaming at my time? I thought we were best friends.
Oh no, I forgot. We are best friends. This is I like this. This is like pure bear market vibes. It's like we're just calling each other while we're streaming. It's like I'm going through charts I don't even care about, and then Wendy O calls, so I have to pick it up. I don't know if they can hear you. I think they can.
I can hear you. I don't know. My TikTok is laughing. They're just freaking laughing right now. And then YouTube, let's see what YouTube is saying. They're just laughing too. But anyways, I just wanted to wish you love and light, and I hope you get a lot more views than me.
Aw, I love you, Wendy, and I hope you get double the views that I get, because you are awesome and you deserve it.
All right. Sending love and light. Talk to you soon.
Love you, Wendy. Bye. Well, that was a charming thing to happen. What a good mix-up. We didn't plan that. I guess she decided to call me, and I was like, wait, she's probably live too. I love Wendy. She's good people. If you guys don't follow Wendy, you absolutely should follow Wendy. Absolutely. All right, we only have a few more to get through here. Total crypto market cap, I meant to do this earlier, very similar to Bitcoin, except kind of coming back and touching what would be the equivalent of like 24.4 or whatever the monthly resistance. Hasn't quite touched its 200 weekly on the monthly time frame yet either. Very similar. I wouldn't doubt that we see a 200 test into the next month if we don't even see it in the next 6 hours. But very, very similar chart to Bitcoin. Maybe a little stronger in the short term as it's back tested its monthly resistance. But yeah, that makes sense. A little bit stronger as Bitcoin dominance seems to be closing a weak monthly candle. Not a lot else there. Man, Wendy, that threw me off. I love Wendy though. She can throw me through a loop any day while I'm streaming. Ethereum battling it out for a weaker close than Bitcoin. 1870 April's open, 1822. So it's both weaker and stronger. Weird. Bitcoin looking for like that bearish engulf on the monthly. Ethereum not. However, actually, I guess maybe that's stronger, isn't it? I didn't mean to do that. Really battling it out for just a neutral close, maybe more similar to the S&P 500, down 0.5% for the month. Looks like it will close not bearish engulf, just a doji kind of indecision or warming up candle, maybe we'll call it. Warming up. Wendy. I've never taken a phone call while live. That was fun. Smash the like button if you like that. And smash the like button if you didn't like that. I don't care. I had this chart pulled up. We might as well take a peek at it. This is something people aren't as familiar with. This would be Bitcoin's volatility. We saw that hit a bottom in January this year. And we said, well, historically, volatility hitting new all-time lows or all-time highs has marked reversals. It turned out that was true. We've been bullish since. But this is why it's been so boring. This is why views are low. This is why just crypto search traffic is in the garbage. We really have been trending below the average volatility of the last 6 years, at least the recorded history of this volatility index, trending very low, off of the all-time low, but struggling to get a volatile move to the upside. Actually, let's see what it looks like on the monthly. Pretty much the same. Oh well. Yeah, very low. Hopefully more volatility into June as we progress forward. Let me see. What else is there? Is there anything else I need to look at that I forgot? Guys, if you're still here, I love you. Make sure you're still smashing the like button, subscribing if you haven't. I see Joe D subscribed. Congrats. Welcome to our fam, my friend. Make sure you jump in the Discord, etc. Use the links in the video description below. Apple is one of the charts actually I wanted to look at. I doodled this the last live stream. I still think this makes sense. Seeing what a broadening wedge structure, potential breakout, backtest of the high trend, and then a move to the upside. Apple is another one of those that's hard to bet against. It's just a solid company that makes solid products that just seems to be ever expanding. I think they should stop making MacBooks, but that's a hot take. Just go all in on phones, man. Flirting with the all-time high at 182. We might see that into June, especially as this month is looking to close strong. Really no pullback, is there? No pullback into the last day of May. We're seeing another higher high. This is the ugliest stuff I've ever seen. Like, this is so ugly on the daily. That's looking for that downside move, but it just doesn't seem to care, giving no Fs. Apple just shrugging it off, saying, now we're going higher. I wouldn't be surprised if Apple is also kind of getting wrapped up in the AI-ish craze as well. It is a technology company. They are a likely candidate in AI to make and deploy it. They have the customers and the platforms to do so. Just makes sense. Let me see. I did want to share this. Not that I care about this chart, just to bring it back up. Shout out to, was it Adam Buzzard? I think. Tipped for this on, we raised a lot of money for veterans on the last stream, by the way. Great job, guys. And we got 2 charities added to YouTube's approved charity list so people can use them into the future. Pat yourselves on the back. VELO, we're looking for a retrace to like 003. It is trading lower, so maybe this trade isn't going to go so hot, but I wanted to just say at least, hey, it did fill. You guys remember I market ordered like $20 or $25 or something of it. I'm probably down tree 50, maybe tree 50, roughly tree 50. Man, I think we got it all. let's go into a really close TA here, lower time frame, just for the end of May to celebrate. Cheers to the end of May, by the way. I had high hopes going into it. I was wrong. That's why it's never financial advice, guys. I'm wrong all the time. Don't think everything I say is right. It's just my best try. So we graphed this out on the last stream. All I added was this descending high trend, which it didn't actually touch on that stream, but we were looking potentially for a long from 26.7. That actually hasn't quite filled yet. You can see we're very close. On Coinbase traded to 26.847, only $100 difference, which is a fraction of a percent. I think that's still a legit trade. Where you would use a stop loss, really up to you. I would prefer the bottom price range here, 25.8, the wick low on the 12th. And in that sense, still looking for the same thing, which is potentially a fill and then a move to the upside. You are going to have to struggle with that descending high trend into this resistance or volume zone, and hoping, praying, if you take that long, praying it moves up into the 30Ks as high as 30.3, and that's where I would at least personally look to then cover short, try to find some kind of return to the mean. If not, seeing it just completely drop off. Really quick load time frame. Let's see. Hourly struggling. Let's start with the 5. 5 minute does look like it's rolling over, which makes sense as my longs got stopped here. Said probably not a bad spot. 5 minute, 15 minute, both giving potential signals of some upside action, as the 30 is a little more hesitant. 45, I'm seeing signs of rolling over. Hourly, not at all though. 2 hour looking pretty brutal. 4 hour, I'd say more neutral. 12, still slowly looking to roll over here, seeing lower or higher lows on our negative money flow. VWAP still pointing down, so still not giving us the go signal, but this is, at least for almost all of May, looking to roll over, and hopefully that plays out into June. Please play out into June. Please. Daily, very sketchy here with VWAP at 0, momentum pinching, and money flow curving back down. This may be indicating another, or at least one more day, or maybe into just this week of downside price action. Not the greatest, not the most bullish. I will remind you guys, I am still bullish. Doesn't mean I think Bitcoin's only going to go up right now or right here, but I've been in this game 7 years. I've been bullish since day 0. Bitcoin is inevitable, just like AI. It's part of the future. There's no stopping it. Regulation, the US, whatever, they're going to do their best. We've always known they're going to do their best to try to stop it. But that is where they will show their weakness, because there ain't no way to stop it, baby. Ain't no way. Man, that wick high was perfect. I remember talking about it in stream, and I was like, yeah, probably should close some of my longs here, but I'm going to be greedy and wait for 30. I only played myself. That's right. Real quick, again, guys, make sure links in the video description below. Sign up with Fairdesk, sign up with Femex. You get like tens of thousands of dollars potentially in trading bonus just by using my link. It supports me. It supports our sponsors. They're great. I use both platforms personally. You should definitely follow me on Twitter. Make sure you're in the Discord, and after the live stream, check out the shorts playlist. YouTube will not, for some reason, it just will not show them to anyone. I don't know why. On YouTube, these things have like millions of views, or on TikTok, millions of views. Here on YouTube, just doesn't want to show them. Let me just randomly, there you go. Super high quality, produced shorts. They're all educational. You're going to love them. They're quick. They're to the point. They're informative. Check them out. You can get them on the channel, on my homepage, etc. And you know what, guys? I think we did it. I appreciate all 700-ish of you turning out. You guys rock. I think we're going to be live tomorrow because I'm sensing the spice tomorrow. Jump in the Discord. I will see you guys. 99% chance to see you tomorrow. Crown out. Celebrate May being over. Peace.